Hi, I'm Jared.
And I'm Brad.
And this week on Hood Slappers, we're going to be reviewing the 2021 Ford Mustang Mach E. Allow me to set the context for you. In 1964, Ford introduced the Mustang at the World Fair. And with a price tag of just over $2,000, Ford expected to sell somewhere around 100,000 units. Now, the first day, dealerships reported selling 22,000 vehicles. And by the end of the year, Ford had sold more than 400,000 units. By 1966, Ford had rolled out its 1 millionth Mustang.
Fast forward to November 17th, 2019, when Ford introduces its very first EV vehicle, the Mustang Mach E. Now, would this be as big as Mustang's original release in 1964? And by piggybacking off the Mustang name, would they draw in people whether they like the idea or not? It seemed Ford was poised to make a knockout punch in the EV world.
But only 4 days later, everything seemed to come to a regenerative braking halt. On November 21st, 2019, we all got to experience Elon Musk and his brilliant advertising when he threw a rock through the window of Tesla's next big move, the Cybertruck. And after that, the Ford Mach E didn't really seem to matter because now you could put a deposit on your very own Cybertruck.
But many months later, here we are, and no Cybertruck. And yet, the Ford Mach E is here. Though it's been in the shadows for months, now it's here and ready to make a comeback punch.
All right, Jared, we could start with what they've done right here in the Mach E, but why don't we start with what maybe they've done wrong? And before we get to that, though, we should probably get the whole Mustang name thing out of the way right away because, you know, there's been some controversy over this. Now, I'm not sure what to think about that. I mean, it's kind of like, hey, it's named, it's over, it's done with. It's like, stop complaining. It's like complaining about the weather like 3 weeks ago Thursday, right? It's done, you know?
They called it Mustang, that's...
It happened. It's done.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't think they called it the Mustang to ride on its coattails, but I think they kind of made a point that, hey, this is actually a cool car.
Yes.
It's an EV car, and you don't have to have an IQ of over 130 to be a driver of it. You know, it's nice looking. Ford even says it feels like a Mustang.
And in my case, or you could have an IQ over 130 and drive the Mustang.
You've never done an IQ test. I don't know anybody that's ever done an IQ test.
An IQ test. No,
I don't even know what an IQ. I had to look up what a high IQ score is. 130.
130
seems like a weird number.
That's high. All right, so let's talk about what they did right. For starters, this thing looks cool, right? Like, it looks cool. But they've also created an interior with a purpose, right? And I mean, one of the things that I love is that they're kind of going toe-to-toe here with Tesla. And this car actually has 2 internal screens. The one right above your driving wheel there is 10 inches. And as if they were trying to put, you know, a certain knock on Tesla, the middle console screen here is 15.5 inches, which is half an inch bigger than Tesla's. And you know what? It looks fantastic.
It does, it does. What Ford also got is the space in the back. They got that bang on because it's not the biggest SUV, but you still get over 1,600 liters of space back there. That's pretty impressive, all things considered.
Yeah, no kidding. Oh, not to forget the frunk space.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
The frunk space, which is what? Liters there. I don't remember what it was. 4.7 cubic feet of space up in the front there, which is absolutely amazing. I mean, this is becoming standard in fully electric models that you get additional space up front. But can I just say something? Can we come up with a different name than frunk?
You don't like frunk?
No, that's awful.
But it's a front trunk. What else would you call it?
It's just frunk. I don't know. I don't like it. Front trunk. What about
front?
The trough.
Well, that's already. Frunk is a new word. You know, it's.
Yeah, but it's an awful word. Frunk. The basket.
You want to call that the basket?
The basket. It's better than the frunk. What would you call it?
Not a basket. But we also need to ask the question, what did Ford do wrong? It seems that no two Fords are alike. You can add this package or that package, and the Mach E is no exception to that rule because you have the comfort and tech package, the comfort and appearance package, and the comfort package. But the interesting thing is, Ford doesn't offer heated seats standard on this car. It's an option in your base model and not an option on the California Route 1 model. Same goes for a heated steering wheel. And to me, that doesn't make any sense.
Now, one of the critiques of the Mach E is that some people think access to the frunk is not overly practical because much like a normal vehicle, the release is under the dash. Now, to me, that doesn't sound like something big to complain about. I mean, how hard is it to put your hand under the dash? Well, why don't we give it a try?
Jesus.
See? There's nothing to complain about.
Being Ford's first EV vehicle, they didn't skip a step when it comes to charging either. Every Mach E comes standard with a Ford mobile charger that is compatible with 120 or 240 outlet. You can also purchase an upgraded charger that will charge up to 50 kilometers every hour. Ford's charging network is also surprisingly extensive. The Ford Pass charging network is the largest electrical charging network with roughly 13,500 stations in North America. Plus, with their DC fast charging stations, you can charge from 10% to 80% in just 45 minutes. The Mach E also has a possible range of 491 kilometers. That's not too shabby.
Ford has also made accessing the vehicle very interesting. You see, the Mach E, it only comes with one key fob, and that's because Ford believes its users will use the Ford app to turn their phone into a key.
But what do you do if your phone is as old as your 2010 Toyota Corolla? What if your battery life is not as good as it used to be? And what if your phone dies?
Well, here's the thing. Ford, of course, has a keypad entry as well, which they've had since the 1980s.
Interesting. But when you get in your car, you will go to your backup passcode screen and enter your personalized passcode, and then you're off to the races. So the Mach E comes in at a very reasonable price for an SUV EV. Starting price is just $50,495, and that gets you into the EV game in a sporty, good-looking car. Ford is also bringing out a GT version of this very car. The 0 to 60 speed is 3.7 seconds. Wait, what?
I wouldn't mind. Whoa. Whoa, that really,
Didn't expect.
that really takes off. How fast is the gas-powered GT?
If you have a gas-powered GT, 0 to 60, 4.2 seconds. This is faster than a gas-powered GT.
Wow. They also have here for the Mach E 3 different drive modes. But of course, when you're in an EV, you can't be calling things like you normally do. Eco mode, normal mode, sports mode. No, so they got some different names. What we're currently driving is the Engage mode.
This is good, I'm feeling engaged.
This is just a fancy word for normal. Then you can become more sporty with the Unbridled mode. And finally, we have what is called Whisper mode. This will help maximize your range.
I happen to know that the average whisper
Yeah.
is 49 decibels.
Okay.
Okay, I did my own research.
Yes,
with the decibel
yes.
meter. I happen to have a decibel meter here. If you
Okay.
don't mind grabbing that, let's see.
Okay.
In
Yeah, here it
whisper
is.
mode,
Okay.
if Ford got,
Or, what are we? We're in Engage mode, so.
yeah,
Okay. How do we go to Whisper mode?
well, we're in whisper mode now.
Oh, we are? You want me to hit the thing?
Let's go, yeah.
Well, wait. I know what's wrong here. We also have our.
Oh yeah, turn that
Here,
down.
we got to turn that.
Down, okay. All right,
Okay.
whisper mode test
Here we go.
on the decibel meter.
Should I-
49 is a whisper. What do we have?
We have yet to hit 49. We're currently in the mid 60s, 60. Now I'm talking. I'm just going to say we haven't hit under 55. So, you know.
Not quite a whisper.
Not quite a whisper, just a hair above a whisper.
A
Certainly
low-
not a shout.
Low talk.
A low talk.
A low talk.
Now, another thing to love about the Mach E is that it will tell you about your driving habits and how much range you have based on the way you drive. But more than that, which is of course great for planning a trip, it takes into consideration things like elevation gain, which is phenomenal, right? I was just out in Banff, Alberta. You're up in the mountains, you're guzzling more gas. Well, that doesn't work. It's not just, hey, I'm traveling 300 kilometers. That changes depending on elevation, and it takes all of that into account.
You know, my dad had an 86 New Yorker back in the day, baby blue, ugly as sin, and it had that same sort of idea, but it was just, hey, this is how much fuel you have left. I think you're gonna have this far to go. And then it would talk to you.
We had a New Yorker as well, I'm not kidding.
86?
Well, I don't know if it was an 86.
It was
ugly car.
It was an ugly color.
Yes.
Kind of like the same blue as your shirt, but it was a turbocharged.
So the car was ugly, not the color.
The color made the car ugly.
Every time we do this, Jared, you show up with your blacks and your whites. You don't like my colors, eh? This to me, this shirt says everything you need to know about the Mustang Mach E.
And who shouldn't be driving it? Now, if you'll see, you have this screen, you have this screen, and right below your heads-up screen, there's a little black strip.
Yeah.
And inside that black strip are 3 infrared cameras.
Okay.
This car doesn't have it yet, but it's paired to get what Ford's calling Blue Cruise. Now, it sounds like a children's television show, but it's not. It's Ford's first step in hands-free driving. So all the Mach-Es have it ready to go, but it's just not updated
Not
into the
quite,
software.
right?
And it's cool because it'll track your eyes to see if you're watching the road, and it even knows where you're looking if you're wearing sunglasses.
Whoa.
So you can drive without your hands as long as you're looking forward.
Well, what do you do with your hands?
What do you mean?
If you don't have to use your hands, what do you do? You just sit there like this?
Never thought about that.
Hey, I'm driving Blue Cruise. Oh, I'll tell you what you could do. You got your drumming going. You're just wide open for a much bigger drum kit.
So with the Blue Cruise, it should come with a set of drumsticks.
There you go. Now, you said it's called Blue Cruise?
Blue Cruise. Not Blue's Clues.
You know what else says Blue Cruise? My shirt.
Your shirt says a lot, but I'm not sure if it says
Blue Cruise.
Blue's Cruise. Now, here's one thing that I think Ford really did a good job on, and it's not even a big deal, really, but they have this giant screen, and they have a volume knob. Honda tried to get rid of the volume knob a couple years ago, and they were crucified for it because nobody wants to fidget about with their finger.
That's awful.
Trying to turn the volume up. I have a real volume knob.
This, ooh, Jared,
It
that
clicks,
is a
yeah.
big deal. This is not just any volume knob. This is high quality volume knob.
That's a good volume. It's got the chrome and the
Oh, it
piano
feels
black.
great. Like you would feel like if you're hitting the road, you know, some whatever your playlist is, crank it. It's gonna feel good doing that right there.
That's one you can really
Just really give it a good go.
Yeah.
You know. Now, let's not forget the warranty that comes with the Mach E, right? And
Yeah.
what I love about the warranty that they're giving here is it tells me they believe in their own product and they know this thing's gonna last. So can I just read you?
please.
Okay.
You
what
have the floor.
warranty comes with here. We've got 3-year, 60,000 kilometer basic warranty. Okay. 8 years or 160,000 kilometers for their electric unique components. 5-year, 100,000 kilometer safety restraint system. 5-year unlimited kilometers for corrosion, and 5-year, 100,000 kilometers for roadside assistance. That is amazing, Jared. I mean, that tells me you buy this, you're safe for a long time.
Yes. Yeah. No, that's good. Ford can really back that warranty up. You know the guy that owns this car?
Yeah.
You know what he drove before this?
What?
2003
Ooh.
Honda
Okay.
Element.
Honda Element. And
Manual
it did-
transmission.
Wait, so it lasted him.
Green. It did. It did. It was just starting to break apart. You know, I used to have the exact same car in orange. Yeah.
Orange?
Orange.
That's.
Never wore
You're making fun of my
never
t-shirt.
wore never wore a shirt to match it.
Well, I was gonna say.
The big idea with EVs is really to make similar cars with an alternative mode of power. And yet what Ford has done here is so much more than that with the Mach E. You see, what Ford has done is added a teaspoon of spice and everything nice and added a whole cool factor to the EV game. And what it's shown us is that the electric market is in its infancy and there's just so much potential. And with that, I give the 2021 Ford Mustang Mach E my hood slap of approval.
Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.